Yo, what's good, YouTube? Zamcro here, aka Scoop, back with another draft analysis. I'm a little late on this one as we've already had season 2, week 1. But I got the return for the National Showdown League season 2 after falling short in the semifinals of season 1. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to return because of some personal things, but I've hopefully got that shit worked out, and we're back to coach the Blackmont Rye Cougars in season 2 so far. And I just wanted to go over my draft, let you guys know what I picked and why I picked it. So let's just go ahead and hop into the team builder here, and I will build the Pokemon that I chose. And I'm actually going to do it by the order that I chose them. Or actually, I'm just going to do it by the tier that they needed to be chosen. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with my tier 1 pick, Excadrill. I had the 4th pick, so Excadrill failed to me here, and it will be named Toph. It will be male. And as you can see, Excadrill, it does a few things really good, and then it does some things decently good. So you can take a look at its speed stats, decent, fucking awesome attack and HP stats. So that's really cool. 3 amazing, fucking awesome abilities here in Sand Force, Sand Rush, and Mold Breaker, with the ability to not only set up rocks, but rapid spin them away. I can run a Assault Vest, I can run Choice Band, Choice Scarf, I can run Life Orb, Lumberry, Leftovers, Focus Sash, whatever I want to run, I can run on this thing. I can run the Shuckaberry, I can run a lot of things on this. And then you take a look, it gets really good Stab and Earthquake and the Iron Head. It gets the Swords Dance, and the Sub Swords Dance could be really nice. Catch somebody off guard with a dig, things like that. Everybody knows about Excadrill, so there's not really much to say about it. Besides, it's one of the best spinners in the game, along with being able to use 3 different abilities really effectively. Especially Mold Breaker. I love Mold Breaker. It can catch, the Rotoms and that can set up stealth rocks on the Mega Sableye, the Espeons, the Zatus, and all the Pokemon with Magic Bounce, stuff like that. Really like Excadrill, and it works well in conjunction with the Mega I picked. And I know I said I was going to go in the tiers, but I really want to just go ahead and tell you my Mega Pinsir. Excadrill, keeping the rocks away from Mega Pinsir, is going to be really good for my team. Red Bull, the Mega Pinsir, because it fucking gives you wings. Take a look at its stats. They're fucking phenomenal. I use Mega Pinsir a lot, but I should never looked at its stats so in depth. It's got 155 attack, 120 defense, 90 special defense, and then 105 speed. So it's got a chance to set up. And if it does set up, whether it be Swords Dance or Bulk Up even, if I don't need the extra power and could use a little extra defense, and it's got enough coverage to handle itself in combat. And another thing it gets is the quick attack and the feint. So it gets 2 really, they become powerful because of the aerial 8 making it stab. So these become flying type attacks. Really cool. Love Mega Pinsir, not much to say about it. Set up sweep, sub sweep, whatever I want to do. Goes really good with Excadrill, I think, in my opinion, because Excadrill takes little to nothing from rocks and can get those out of the way. Be it Choice Scarf or just a defensive set like Leftovers or Assault Vest, it can get the rocks away and help Pinsir a lot. So I really like that. And it's also immune to electric types, which these 2 Pokemon actually need. And mentioning Milotic here, it was my round 2 or my tier 2 pick here. Haven't actually, I have named it too. Purity, the Milotic. It will be shiny because I really like it. It's pretty. I have 2 Stealth Rock Setters and a Spinner here, and now I got a Pokemon that's got 2 really good abilities in Marvel Scale and competitive, with fucking awesome special stats here in special attack and special defense. It's not slow by any means and has awesome HP. This Pokemon can use Assault Vest and Choice Spec, Scarf, Life Orb, Leftovers, probably Leftovers a lot. It's just really good defensive Pokemon with like Scald to burn things, Ice Beam to catch those grass types, and then it's got things like Mirror Coat, which make it really cool. Gets a refresh, rest, and recover. So it has good, reliable recovery and things like that. I believe it gets light screen. It does. Dragon Tail to phase things, Haze to eliminate stat changes, things like that. I really like this Pokemon because it can be used in a number of different ways, whether it be Toxic Stall or just like catch somebody off guard with the Mirror Coat, things like that. Really like this Pokemon. Like I was saying, I've never used it at all, but I've seen it used and I hate facing it. So I decided that I was going to draft it so nobody else could draft it. Next Pokemon. I wanted to start a Firewater Grass Core to help Pinsir and Excadrill out a little bit. So I drafted Rotom Heat here. Rotom Heat of Fajita. Gets the Levitate ability, so it's really good for Excadrill. It's really good for itself as well. And this Pokemon literally can use every item that makes sense. Obviously, it's not going to use something like a Stone Plate. Why would it? You know, I mean, HP Rock, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I can use it as any kind of choice item, choice band, just to like maybe trick it to another Pokemon. It gets really good coverage. I can run the Will-O-Wisp Hex set. Gets the light screen reflect. So I have a couple Pokemon that gets the dual screens, or at least one screen, and then I've got the Volt Switch initiative here with the Will-O-Wisp and the Trig. That's really cool. Gets the Charge Beam even, which I like a lot. Can throw a Pastel Berry on there or something, make the catch water Pokemon off guard, be able to hit it with like maybe 2 Thunderbolts or a Thunderbolt into a Volt Switch or something, depending on my speed. You check out its stats here. It's fucking phenomenal. Only thing I don't like about it is its HP stat, but like I said, it's made up with its amazing defensive stats here. And this still tops out at 304, so that's really cool. It's genderless, which sucks for me, and I hate the shiny forms of the Rotoms. So I've got a pretty fun team here so far. I'm actually going to try to keep this in the order that I drafted them, and so, since I'm already kind of in that order. And my next draft was Tyranitar. This is a Pokemon that can set up the sand for Excadrill. Obelisk the Tyranitar. It's going to be a male. And this Pokemon's a Assault Vest user, Choice Band user, Choice Scarf user, even a Choice Specs user. Because you take a look at its special attack here, 95, not even bad. Check out the rest of these. This Pokemon dominates OU. Anyways, it's another Stealth Rock user, and another Phaser, as well as a Pursuit Trapper, and just being able to hit really hard with its stab attacks, excuse me. And gets the T-Wave if you're Brazilian. Nah, I'm just kidding. But it does get the T-Wave, like I was saying. And Taunt. This Pokemon's coverage is like, it's up there with Mew. It's great. It's not up there with Mew, but it's fucking good. It gets all around good coverage. And I think it's going to be a great Pokemon to this team. So it helps set up the stand. It takes the flying type attacks, you know, to help Pinsir out. Look at this. Excadrill resists flying, Rotom Heat resists flying, Tyranitar resists flying, and Mega Pinsir's weak to flying. So, like, Mega Pinsir's really helped out by this team. Fire type attacks, what are they going to do to these 3 Pokemon? Nothing. So, these Pokemon are really well guarded with my what I would say is a defensive core going on here. And obviously, some of these Pokemon can be used offensive. All my Pokemon can use it offensively. My next Pokemon was a Pokemon I thought about franchising from last season. Savage the Ditto. The shiny Ditto, that is. Its stats are mediocre, but obviously it gets Imposter and will transform into your Pokemon and steal its stats. So not much to say about Ditto. Ditto is Ditto. And these 6 Pokemon were the first 6 Pokemon I drafted in this league. And the 7th Pokemon I drafted was something to round out my Firewater Grass Core. The defensive behemoth, Panzer, the Chestnut, the shiny Chestnut. Let me get that straight across. Pokemon that can set up spikes. It can be annoying with Spiky Shield. It gets really powerful. Like, they have downsides, but they're fucking powerful stab type attacks and Wood Hammer and Hammer Arm. So this Pokemon just hammers the shit out of its opponents. It's really good ability and bulletproof. can run a lot of items. All my Pokemon can run a lot of items. That's what I like about this team. It's very versatile. It might not look versatile on paper because you might just say they all do the same thing, but if you really dig deep into their movesets, these Pokemon can be scary to deal with. And you take a look at these 3 stats here. That's the main reason I drafted this Pokemon. It may be weak to flying also, but like I said, I have 3 Pokemon that resist that. And another Pokemon right here that I'm going to name off is another Pokemon I wanted to franchise from Season 1, but I decided not to because it would take too many points. And I thought I may have another chance to draft it anyway. This Pokemon takes care of flying types pretty well in my opinion with this fucking huge-ass attack stat coupled with priority. Ice-type priority, which is stab. And then these 2 powerful ice type attacks. Anyways, I probably won't use Icicle Spear just because of the fact that it can land only twice sometimes. And Icicle Crash just seems to be better unless I'm afraid of a Sash. It's another Pokemon that can set up Stealth Rock. So I have so many hazards. And again, it can do some it can do some other things like knock off, which is pretty cool. And then it gets the Light Screen Reflect, another Pokemon with dual screens. And it gets really good coverage with superpower, being able to hit things that might resist its stab. And it can also, as you can see right here, it can set up the Sandstorm to help out Excadrill late game or something. If I feeling cheeky or something, the Endeavor set with the Focus Sash is really nice. I can't be taunted with this ability. I'm not hit super effectively with fire and ice types with this ability. And this ability is pretty much useless because I won't be able to set up the snow that much. Nonetheless, Choice Band, Choice Scarf, Life Orb, Focus Sash, Leftovers. This Pokemon can, it can do it all. Well, it can't do it all, but it's fucking powerful and I like it, so I chose it. Take a look at this base attack here. 394 max attack. It's fucking insane in my opinion. So I drafted Mamoswine again. It come in clutch last season. It should come in clutch again this season. Moving on to my 8th pick of the draft. I went a little out of my way to draft a Pokemon I've never even used before with Mesprit here. I think it pairs really well with Tyranitar. And it's another Pokemon that can set up Stealth Rocks. It can Calm Mind set up with Substitute Calm Mind, and then it has like Dazzling Gleam for Dark types. It gets Stab Extrasensory and Psychic. It gets Healing Wish, Grass Knot, Knock Off, and Ice Punch, Ice Beam. Hold on a second, I'm going to show you the reason it can use Ice Punch and Knock Off, and Power Up Punch even, Psyshock, and it gets Dual Screens again, Magic Coat again. See, I'm getting all these Pokemon that have the ability to do the same thing over and over and over, so my opponents won't know which Pokemon's going to do that. It gets the Trick and the Toxic, the Thunder Wave. Really, really cool Pokemon. Can't wait to use it. Now on to the reason it can be used any way I want it. If you look at these stats, this Pokemon was a steal. This is a tier 4. A tier 4 Pokemon. It cost me nothing actually. I had to pick 2 tier 4s. I had to pick 1 tier 1, 1 tier 2, 2 tier 3s, 2 tier 4s, a tier 5, and a mega. And then I had 4 picks I had to use 400 budget points on. So this Pokemon was free to me, and as you can see, it's attack stat, special attack stat. I can use it either way. Defensive, especially defensive, can use it either way. I can just use a max speed, max HP set with like a Cobra Berry or something. This Pokemon, it's going to have a field day. I mean, it's not going to have a field day, but it's going to do what I needed to do that week. I really like it. Name it Verity after the cavern it's found in. I think this Pokemon will be a standout for me this season. It may not be the MVP of the team, but I guarantee it will stand out when I bring it. On to my next Pokemon. I chose Golbat. I missed out on Weezing by I don't know how many picks, but I chose Golbat as a backup. Blind as a Golbat here. As you can see, its HP stat and speed is pretty good. Its attack is decent. Special attack can be helped with the ability to have nasty plot here, and then its defenses, they look mediocre, but you slap this motherfucker right here on it and it becomes a fucking god. You can't kill this motherfucker, especially with its ability to roost and super fang, toxic stall. Like, how do you kill this right here? And then throw on defog. So now I have 2 ways to get rid of hazards and 50,000 ways to set up hazards. I have take a look here. Hazard setter, stealth rocks, stealth rocks, stealth rocks. This thing can turn into you and use your stealth rocks, spikes, toxic spikes, or sticky web against you, or it can turn into one of your removers and remove your own hazards. So back off my ditto. Spike setter, rock setter, rock setter. So yeah, I love this team so far. I've got like a variety of ways to set up spikes. I'm not done talking about this guy yet. So take a look at its Brave Bird, its Air Slash, its Giga Drain, even Haze to get rid of stat changes, stuff like that. Gets Pursuit, so I can Pursuit trap some Pokemon. Nasty Plot for the setup sweeps, things like that. You can late game tailwinds and taunt, U-turn, switch initiative, and this thing gets U-turn, this thing gets U-turn, this thing gets Volt Switch. Like I said, Ditto can become a Volt Switcher or a U-turner. You take a look at these. I thought it got all of the weather setters, but it looks like it only gets sunny day and rain dance. That's not cool, but oh well. It's gonna be okay anyway. I can use hypnosis, put things to sleep, and let Verity come use Dream Eater, take away your life while you're sleeping. Anyways, we'll hop into my last 2 picks here. Initially, my last 2 picks were Dusclops, and Carbink. But I thought to myself, those Pokemon, and I was even told by a friend. I was told by a friend that those Pokemon were just set up fodder and stuff like that. And I was thinking, damn, he's right. So why don't I just grab me a Pokemon that can use a Cleric here? And I picked up Tinkerbell. Here. The female, the shiny. Just go ahead and fix that Tinkerbell here. Because it can actually use Wish, Toxic, Protect, Heal Bell, Aromatherapy, things like that. It can also, I think it gets Calm Mind set up. Yeah, Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam, it gets the Disable. So I picked this Pokemon because I needed a Cleric on my team and Carbink wasn't going to do it. This also provides me a Dragon Switch in and a Trick Room user. This Pokemon also gets Trick Room. And if you look at my team, I can use Trick Room very threateningly. So yeah, Carbink was, I dropped Dusclops for Carbink, and I dropped, I dropped Dusclops for Aromatisse, and I dropped Carbink for Mismagius. So I still come out with the Pokemon typings that I wanted. Just got better Pokemon out of the swap. So you take a look at this Pokemon, and it can use like a Will-O-Wisp and Thunder Wave and like Toxic, and then it can use like Calm Mind, and then it gets really good Dark Pulse, Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, Destiny Bond, Magic Coat, Psychic, Shadow Ball Stab, Shadow Sneak Stab, Sucker Punch, Taunt, Substitute, Sleep Talk, Trick, Will-O-Wisp, like I was saying. The Charge Beam for the, come in on a weakened Pokemon, use Charge Beam, knock it out and get a boost. Gets Magic Room, and just all around a good Pokemon. Can come in and use Ominous Wind on a weakened Pokemon and get a chance to boost all of my stats. How fucking crazy would that be? Skill Swap, things like that. Another Trick Room user as well. So I think Miss Wicked, the Mismagius here is going to be a fucking awesome pick for me. Really like Ghost types, and as I was saying, I've got all the hazards barring the sticky webs with Stealth Rock, Stealth Rock, Stealth Rock, Spikes, Stealth Rock, Stealth Rock. Looks like I'm missing Toxic Spikes as well. But Rocks and Spikes is plenty enough for me, and the ability to spin block if you try to come in and spin away the rocks. That's really cool for me. That's my team. Toph, the Excadrill. Red Bull, the Mega Pinsir. Purity, the Milotic. Fajita, the Rotom Heat. Obelisk, the Tyranitar. Savage, the Ditto. Panzer, the Chestnut. If you get that reference, you're fucking awesome. Zero, the Mamoswine. Verity, the Meshbright. Blind as a Golbat. Tinkerbell, the Aromatisse. And Miss Wicked, the Miss Magius. And I'm just going to hop over here to the National Showdown League Season 2 document here. And you see the rest of the teams that drafted. It's going to be a fun season. And as you can see right here, the draft order, I got 1, 2, 3, 4th pick, which means I got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th pick on the wheel. Not even bad. And here's just all the tiered Pokemon and the transactions. As you can see, I dropped Carbink for Miss Magius and Dusclops for Aromatisse. And here's the schedule. It's already been updated for week 1. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, although you could probably pause the video and see the result of my first match. The standings, they will be updated after week 1. The KD is updated a little bit, but will be fully updated after week 1. I mean, season 2 is what we're in actually. So anytime I say season 1, just say "fuck you, Scoot." You're wrong, Zamcrow. Whatever you want to say. And here's going to be the Pokemon with the top knockouts. Pretty cool. And then you got the power rankings here. I'll go over that in a second. And then here's the rules, as you can see. If you want to, I'm just going to leave it here so you can be able to pause it for a second. And then down here is the rest of the league rules. So if you want to pause that for a second and read those. I don't feel like reading them off because I've kind of got a little sickness and a headache today. So no big deal. I'm going to hop into the power rankings done by one of the players that's in the Season 1 championship. He actually knocked me out of the semifinals. Pretty cool. He's a pretty cool guy, and he knows his shit. I beat him in the regular season 1-0, and I think he beat me in the semifinals 1-0. How fucking cool is that? And as you can see, I was ranked number 4 here. Blackmont Rycougars. He said, I feel like Scoot has very scary mons on his team with stuff like a very great Fire, Water, Grass core and the deadly combo of Tyranitar and Excadrill. Ditto and Mega Pinsir also cause a pretty solid threats. Scoot has one of the scariest offensive cores with a solid defensive core. And I don't disagree. And he has me number 4. I think that's a little high for my team. Even though I think my team's fucking powerful as well. I think there's some other teams out there that are actually really, really threatening. And if you want to check those out, I'll leave the link to this document down below in the description as always. And we'll just hop back into the team builder for a second and you take a look, one last look at my team here. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling this team. Disregard all the moves and items they may have and abilities and shit, because that's not gonna be what I bring every week, obviously. Like I said, this is my tier 1 Mega, tier 2, tier 3, tier 3. This is a tier 2. Used my budget points. Here's another tier 2 I used for budget points. Tier 4. Tier 4, Tier 5, and then Tier 5 and Tier 4. So I used my points as best as I could and got a team that I think is really, really strong. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with. So just be ready for my weekly uploads. I may be a little early or a little late depending on how soon I have my battles and stuff. But if you're excited for the Blackmont Rycougars Season 2 of the National Showdown League, leave a little hashtag Thunderstruck in the comment section below, and hopefully you'll follow my season. Till then, I'll catch you guys next time.